Hello everyone, I am Professor Anishwara and I welcome you all in this video lecture. Currently we are running a series of video lecture on design of synchronous alternator. So today we will take one of the example and we will solve or will rather design a turbo. So let us take one example. For example, let us consider 30 MVA Turbo Alternator. Data given, that is 11 kV, 50 Hz, 3000 RPM, star connected, turbo alternator. BAV, that is a specific magnetic loading, 0.55 Weber per meter square. Specific electric loading, that is 55,000 ampere conductor per meter. KW, that is stator winding factor. Normally we take 0.955. If it is not given, again we can take 0.955. And peripheral speed. In the last or previous video lecture we have seen that during design of turbo alternator, peripheral speed is very important and that is a limiting factor for selecting diameter of the stator bore. So peripheral speed, it is given 160 meter per second. So this much of data is given and we need to find out certain parameters like main dimension. So we have to find out main dimension, that is D, and L, that is stator bore diameter and stator pole length. Then number of conductor, stator, we are doing stator design, so number of conductor of stator, then number of slots and number of conductor per slot. So number of conductor per slot and size or area of conductor. So we are currently designing a stator design for 30 MVA turbo alternator. The data given is 11 kV, the voltage given, that is 11 kV, 50 Hz, 3000 RPM and stator is star connected. Specific magnetic loading, that is 0.55, specific electric loading 55,000, stator winding factor KW, that is 0.955 and peripheral speed, that is 160 meter per second. Now let us start our design. Suppose we start with step 1. So step 1 is to decide our output coefficient. We have our equation for output coefficient, that is CO, that is 11 multiplied by KW multiplied by BAV multiplied by AC and multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3. we have a two equation. Either we can take 11 multiplied by all these values, or we can take 1.11 multiplied by pi square and then these remaining values. So in this example, both are same, so any value can be taken. So now if we substitute all the values, then we have 11 multiplied by 0.955 multiplied by BAV, that is given as 0.55, 55,000, and multiplied by 10 raised to minus 3. So if we discard these two values, 10 raised to 3 and 10 raised to minus 3, and suppose if we calculate, then the values are now, suppose if we calculate, so 11 multiplied by 0.955 multiplied by 0.55 and multiplied by 55, so it comes to 317.77. so 317.77. so we have calculated CO, that is output coefficient. In first step, that is a CO, that is output coefficient. So before we find our mean dimension, we have calculated CO, output coefficient. Now we start next step. So our step number 2. So step 2, that is to calculate speed in RPS. Speed in revolution per minute is given. So speed in RPS, so that is NS, and that is NS, capital NS, that is for the revolution per minute, and small ns, that is synchronous speed in revolution per second. So divide by 60, so 3000 is the given speed, and divide by 60, so it comes to 50. Therefore ns is equal to 50 rps, that is revolution per second. Now in step 3, so step 3, we have to calculate d square L. So based on output equation, Q is equal to CO d square L and multiplied by NS. Now based on this equation, we can easily able to calculate d square L. So d square L, that is Q divided by CO and NS. Output equation, we know that how to use output equation, but here one thing is very important that you should always remember, that Q is always in kVA, right? And we have been given output capacity in this for this alternator, that is 30 MVA, 30 MVA. So while calculating, we have to convert value into kVA. So 10 multiplied by 10 raised to 30 multiplied by 10 raised to 3 divided by 317.77 and multiplied by 50. So it comes to, let us calculate. So 30 multiplied by 1000 divided by 317.77 and divided by 50. So it comes to 1.88. So it comes to 1.88. So d square L we have to find out, and that is in meter cube. D square L, that is our volume, and volume is always in meter cube. Now our first step, that is to separate D and L. To separate, we have several methods, but in this example peripheral speed is given. So if peripheral speed is given, it is very easy to calculate diameter. So now let us calculate diameter. So in step 4, step 4, calculate diameter. To calculate diameter, we have consider peripheral speed. So VA, that is phi, D and NS, and therefore based on this equation, diameter D, that is peripheral speed divided by pi and synchronous speed in RPS. Now peripheral speed is 160 meter per second is given. We can substitute value of pi, and 50 is revolution per second speed. So therefore D is equal to, now based on this equation we can easily able to calculate D, that is 160 divided by 3.14 and divided by 50. So it comes to 1.01. So it comes to 1.01 meter. So now we can approximate this value, and therefore we can take 1 meter. This is our approximation, and we can easily 1.01 we can take 1 meter. So if diameter is available, then we can start our step 5, and that is to calculate length. So we know that d square L, that is 1.88 meter cube, and therefore L is equal to 1.88 divided by d square. D is 1 meter, so d square is also 1 meter, and therefore L is equal to 1.88 meter. So now we have calculated our length. So first part, that is to calculate main dimension. Main dimension, we have diameter D and stator core length L, that we have calculated. So now let us go to our next part, and we have to calculate number of turns. So now step 6. Step 6, that is to calculate number of turns. For calculating number of turns, we have one equation, and that is per phase voltage E phase, that is 4.44, F flux 5 turns per phase, and kW, that is our equation. To find out per phase voltage, we have to find terminal voltage is given 11 kV, and it is given that stator is connected in star. So per phase voltage we can easily able to calculate. But if you observe in this equation, we have 4.44, frequency is 50 Hz, turns per phase we need to find out, kW is given, E phase is also known, flux is not known, flux we have to find out. So before we apply this equation for calculating turns per phase, we have to find out flux. To find the flux, we have one equation, that is specific magnetic loading, that is P5 divided by pi dl. Therefore P5, that is BAV multiplied by pi dl, and therefore flux 5, that is BAV multiplied by pi dl and divided by P. So if we substitute values, BAV that is given 0.55, that is given 0.55 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by D that is 1 and multiplied by 1.88. 1.88 that is our length. When we calculated the diameter and L that is length, in case of turbo alternator diameter is less and length is more, so diameter is 1 meter but length is almost double, that is 1.88 meter. So that is a typical characteristic of a turbo alternator. And number of pole, that is speed is given. So we have speed that is 120 F by P, and therefore P is equal to 120 F by NS. So that is 120 multiplied by 50 and divided by 3000. So ultimately it comes to 2. So this way we can able to calculate our number of poles, but now we are calculating our flux 5. So based on this equation, now we can easily able to calculate, it is 0.55 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1.88 and divided by 2. So it comes to 1.62. So flux 5 that is 1.62 Weber per meter square. That is our flux. So in step number 6 we are supposed to calculate number of turns per phase, but in this equation we require value of flux 5. So now we have calculated value of flux 5. Now if we substitute this value in this equation, so ultimately our equation becomes turns per phase, that is EMF per phase divided by 4.44 multiplied by F multiplied by 5 and multiplied by kW. So now it is star connected, that is 11 multiplied by 10 raised to 3, that is 11 kV, and we need to divide by root 3. So EMF per phase, that is 11 divided by root 3. So 6350, the voltage, that is 6350 and divided by 4.44 multiplied by 50, that is our frequency, multiplied by 1.62, that is flux we have just calculated, and multiplied by 0.955. So turns per phase, and that is comes to, let us now calculate turns per phase. So 6350 divided by 4.44 divided by 50 divided by 1.62 and divided by 0.955. So it comes to 18.48. But we know that we have to consider integer value. So suppose let us take 19. So we have considered 19. So turns per phase, as per this equation, we have estimated as 19. So now let us proceed further. Now we have to calculate the total number of conductor. Once we have our total number of turns available, then in step number 7, total number of conductor. So total number of conductor, that is Z, and we know that Z can be calculated as 6 times turns per phase. So suppose we have number of phase is equal to 3. So 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by turns per phase, so that is 6 multiplied by turns per phase. So this way we can directly use this equation. So 6 multiplied by 19, So it comes to 6 multiplied by 19, 114. So total number of conductor we have calculated, it is 114. Now let us proceed further, and we need to calculate step number 8. In step number 8, let us calculate total number of slots. So now suppose we estimate, or we take a standard value number of slots per pole per phase. So Q, suppose number of slots per pole per phase. In case of turbo alternator, number of poles are less, so number of slots per pole per phase can be considered higher. So suppose let us take a 5. This can be chosen as per our design requirement, and therefore total number of slots, that is 5 multiplied by number of phase, that is 3, and number of pole, that is 2. So it ultimately comes to 30. So 30 is total number of slots. Total number of conductors are 114. So based on these two values, we can easily able to calculate total number of conductor per slot. So in step number 9. Step number 9 is total number of conductor per slot. So total number of conductor per slot, that is ZSS. So we have total number of conductor 114, and we have total number of slots, that is 30. So ultimately it comes to 114 divided by 30. So it comes to 3.8. But we have to consider integer value, so it can be approximated as 4. So we can consider number of conductor per slot, that is 4. See, this is a even number and even integer number. So for even integer number of conductor per slot, even an integer. So based on this, we can conclude that a double layer winding is possible. So now let us proceed to our last step, and that is step number 10, and we have to calculate in step number 10, that is step number 10. In step number 10, we have to calculate area of conductor. So area of conductor. To calculate area of conductor, first we require, that is current per phase. So we need to calculate current per phase. So to calculate current per phase, we require VA. So 30 multiplied by 10 raised to 6 and divided by root 3 multiplied by 11 into 10 raised to 3. So it comes to 30 multiplied by 10 raised to 3 divided by root 3 multiplied by 11, and ultimately our current comes to 30,000 divided by 11 divided by root 3, and then it comes to 1574.59. So 1574.60 ampere. So that is current per phase. So if current per phase is available, then based on this current, if we choose appropriate value of the current density, then we can have area of the conductor. So cross section area of the conductor, cross section area of the conductor. That is A conductor, that is I phase divided by delta, where delta, that is current density, and we can take a higher value of current density for turbo alternator, because in higher speed machine proper cooling gear is always provided. And suppose we assume delta, that is 8 ampere per millimeter square, any value can be decided, and based on, because area is inversely proportional to the current density, so if we select a higher current density, then area of the conductor will be less. But if suppose we go for a less current density, then area will be higher. So suppose we take 8, then 1574.60 and divided by 8, then it comes to divide by 8, so it comes to 196.8. So 196.8 millimeter square. So that is our area of the conductor. So we have calculated total number of conductor, total number of slots, total number of conductor per slots, total number of turns, and ultimately after main dimension we have calculated cross section area of the conductor. So this way we can complete our entire design of the stator winding for turbo alternator. Thank you for watching my video. Keep watching. Similar type of more examples we'll be doing. Thank you again. Thank you very much.